It's a fucking embarrassment. There's really no other way to start it off. That was as embarrassing a shit show as you could ever have a team you root for put forth, and everything this team, this coach, this front office, that locker room talked about going into the season, all bullshit. Wipe it away. Nonsense. I mean, you couldn't even give your fan base one moment to enjoy the football season being back. Not a singular moment to be happy that their favorite football team had returned to the field, and you get absolutely boat raced by Daniel fucking Jones. Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes taking you to the woodshed. And as Mike McDaniel said, whenever he has his dumbass press, I'm gonna watch him later. I don't have the patience or resiliency to even sit through that umming and ahhing and all the things that it takes for him to even get through to a sentence. No wonder they run out of time on a 2-point conversion. Guys probably sounded like Porky Pig on the headset to Tua Tagovailoa, who was also a bum today. Okay, don't think he's going to skate free either. I mean, he was honestly. I think it has supplanted his worst game of all time. And for those dummies who have sat there trying to justify, hey, no, the guy's all right. He just always, when the eyes and the spotlights and everybody needs a little bit of a boost, whenever you need that from him, just bet on him to come up small. And then whatever you think, however small you think he's going to come up, just imagine it getting even smaller, because that was such a horse performance by Tua. He was so bad at taking care of the football, which used to be like the only thing that you could be like, oh yeah, Tua, accurate, takes care of the football. He starts off this season in just the worst way, and I don't even know. I don't even know. I got so much to digest from this game, because it was a Murphy's Law performance just by the Dolphins. Just whatever you thought could go wrong did, and then somehow got worse. Do you know how tough Larry Zonka is? He's tough. And for the Dolphins to break Larry Zonka, a man who couldn't be broken, to break Larry Zonka afterwards, to where the legend tweets, unprepared, uninspired, unacceptable. And he's right. That was his second tweet of the day. He tweeted at halftime, mad, sad, hopeful. And then even when you maybe were hopeful, right? Because at halftime you're like, yeah, maybe. Maybe this could be the turnaround. Tua got picked off by a fucking pass rusher in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, who was he even thinking of throwing that football to? And then Latu's go-go gadget arms just flying out of nowhere to take the ball away. And it was just, it's a complete nightmare. And for anybody who wants to go here, I look, apologies to Mike Florio. Apologies, sir. Because he came out here and he goes, 29th team, they're headed for disaster. I didn't want to think that way. I didn't want to think that way. I wanted to come into this season excited that football was back. Who doesn't? It's everybody's ritual. You get excited that the sport comes back. And so I wanted to come into this being like, yeah, football's back, baby. I don't want to hear any of that crybaby bull bleep. But 29th may be generous. It may be generous with how he ranked the Dolphins, or 28th, whatever the hell it was. I come on this week and I'm like, oh, come on, Tua, you got him above Daniel Jones. Like, that's it. You take any quarterback after that performance. It was horrible. And you probably had the omen that it was going to be a bad day right off the bat, because, I talked about this on the pregame show, because I was like, hey, what do you think is going to be like the thing that's going to feel worse? And I said it's either going to be a Xavier Howard interception, or it's going to be Tyler Warren just absolutely boat racing the Dolphins, just bowling them over. Nobody can cover him. Nobody can tackle him. While the Miami Dolphins have Darren Waller trying to still figure things out. And that off the bat was the first thing, because it was like the Dolphins could get absolutely zero pressure on Daniel Jones. Zero pressure on Daniel Jones. And he just kept flinging that thing to Tyler Warren, who was always open. And you're just like, ugh. But the defense held strong. They weren't great, but they kind of they weren't great in the early going. But you're like, all right, you know what? That's fine. You held them to 3. Big hit by Matthew Judon. That would be his only good moment of the day. He would also have a huge boneheaded error. And then you start up. You get you probably had like, I don't know, probably like 3 total minutes of enjoying football today, because you had the Judon hit, Eskridge with the balls return, Achane big run up the middle for 8 yards, Tua to Tyreek for the first down, and then it was right about that all hell broke loose, because James Daniels, the Dolphins starting right guard, who was a question mark going into this week with an ankle injury, he is hurt on the first drive. He's grabbing his upper body. Not great. And they say immediately as they go to break, the reporters are saying Keon Smith is coming right in. I, like a complete horse's ass, said today on the pregame show, I was trying to be optimistic, Ollie. What a stupid boy I am. Because I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to get 14 healthy offensive lineman games this year. That was the over-under. Did we get 14 minutes of game time? Not even game time, not of actual time? I don't think so. And he's gone. And then 2 plays later, Tua Tagovailoa tries to get it to Tyreek Hill. All that was there were Indianapolis Colts. He airmails it right to Cameron Bynum, who then proceeds to do a celebration that I don't know what this was. Now, I'm intangibles. I am not cool, but he was either doing a upside down worm. Somebody referred to it as the salamander to me on Twitter, or the fish flop. It was awesome. Objectively, it was a great celebration. But, oh my God, it was like right off the bat, that's how the game started. Is like, oh, are you kidding me, Tua? We're starting off right with an airmail to the other team. Great. Awesome, dude. That is just tremendous. And so the next drive comes, Colts just Jonathan Tayloring it all the way down willy-nilly. The Dolphins finally get a good play. It was Daniel Jones sacked by Bradley Chubb. One of like 2 good moments today. It was like that and the Ollie Gordon conversion. And end of the first quarter, immediately Daniel Jones comes out of the timeout and finds Michael Pittman, who roasty toasty storm duck, roast duck. And you're just like, Cool. That's great. 10-0. Very good. Okay. Perfect. Dolphins get the ball back. Achane gets a nice little chunk run. And then the next play, Tua, boom, hit on his blind side, loses the football. Xavier Howard, of course, recovers it. And yeah, my immediate reaction on Twitter was just like, yeah, what a nightmare. This is terrible. This is legitimately, you couldn't draw up a worse way to start football this year. It couldn't happen. And Tua, immediately his first two drives, cannot take care of the football. I get it. He was hit willy-nilly immediately on his blind side, but between the airmail and letting go of the ball, you set them up for a disaster, and right away the Colts strike and get right back to it, and Daniel Jones rushes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day, one passing, one rushing. And when they come back, and this is what everybody was worried about, is what's going to happen when this team breaks down and things don't go well. How are the relationships? All this kumbaya, road trip stuff. How is it going to hold up? This is going to be the true test of it. But they go immediately. And Tyreek Hill, who supposedly had some really good rah-rah speech before the game, and not good enough apparently, he looks pissed on the sidelines. And rightfully so. It's not, I'm not here judging Tyreek Hill. I'm just telling you, he just looked furious. And hurts so good. The first play, right after that happens, Tua tries to throw it right over the middle. Bynum nearly picks him off again. And I'm thinking two things. Is Tua colorblind? And why the hell are we making down the field plays to the fullback? Dude, respect Alec Ingold. Cool. I know we all love him, right? What are we doing here? What in what world are we trying to muster back from a 17-0 deficit with passes to the fullback? What do we do? What are we doing? Genuinely, what are we doing? So, yeah, terrible. Tua is able to keep the drive going after narrowly escaping that. He has some chunk plays to Tyreek. He has a nice pass over the middle. Well, actually, it wasn't that great a pass. It was actually a better catch by Tanner Connor. And then he gets blasted by his blind side right again. Dude runs willy-nilly. They cross up the Dolphins' offensive line, and they sack Tua. And then 2 plays later, Tua's flushed out, and he completely short circuits, and he's sacked by DeForest Buckner. So yeah, I mean, we've gone here. We've had drives. Tua's been sacked. I think he's been sacked 3 times to this point. We lost a starting offensive lineman. He's had 2 turnovers that have led to touchdown drives, and just all hell has broken loose. And then, just to get worse, Storm Duck gets hurt. So one of your starting cornerbacks, who, yeah, had already been roasty toasty, but he is one of your starting cornerbacks. Rasul Douglas has barely been here, although he did nearly have an interception. Storm Duck is hurt, so just adding injury to insult. Terrible. And this was probably the most honestly, it wasn't the most disastrous play, but this up here was the most disheartening play, because the defense actually comes up with a really nice stop after all hell is broken loose. 17-0 is not, out of this world. And on 4th and 3, Matthew Judon, who they said hasn't had a special teams tackle since 2017, runs into the kicker, 5-yard penalty. Drive continues for the defense that had already been out there for the majority of the game. They finally come up with a quick stop to get the offense the ball right back, and the offense is giving them nothing. Tua's giving them nothing, and Matthew Judon gets a running into the kicker penalty. And then I was like, just not their day. Just very clearly not their day. And they even still on that drive, they held up to just it being a field goal. But you were talking now, what is that? That's 17 points off of turnovers, essentially 3 turnovers to keep drives going. It's 20-0. These halftime numbers are a joke. Tua was 5 of 7, 42 yards, 1 INT, 1 fumble lost, sacked 3 times. Devon Achane, 5 carries, 15 yards. Fewest first half yards since 1991, the TV broadcast threw up there. Daniel Jones, 17 of 22, 197 yards, 1 touchdown passing, 1 touchdown rushing. Total yards, 255 to 43 in favor of Indy. Time of possession, 21:40 for Indianapolis, 8:20 for the Dolphins. And okay, I mean, like you're coming out of halftime. You have the ball. The Colts did start with the ball. They won the toss and they started with the ball. And you know, they immediately start going like quick pass game. You got a 3rd and 1. They gave it to Ollie Gordon. Was that his only carry today? I think it was. Ollie Gordon. 2 carries, 2 carries, 4 yards. But his first one did convert a first down. So that was, like I said that was probably like the second best play of the day today. Doesn't say much, obviously. Tua then tried to pass to Alec Ingold, which of course went nowhere. We could throw all those in the recycle bin if we don't mind. Tua then throws to Jalen Waddle over the middle, who also gets hurt. He looked like he hurt his shoulder real bad because, he's tiny and not durable. And then just Tua's grand finale of hey, this is going to be the worst game of my career. He throws a pick over the middle to Leatu Latu. And it was just like, oh my God, like, holy shit, I can't believe how bad this game was. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so depressing. And Tua, dude, I honestly don't know, man. I don't know who could keep sitting there up to bat. I've tried, man. I'm tired. I'm tired, Tua. Trying to fight the good fight. Trying to keep it going. But this dude comes out there today. And let me just take the glasses off. Let me grow up here for a second. Okay. This was infuriating to me. He comes out today, or he comes out this week with a Gatorade ad of a fake DM. And I was just like, ugh. That I didn't like that. And I know that you're getting paid oodles of money for it, whatever, dude. But it's a fake DM. And I want to know in Tua's team who told him this was a good idea. Because it's like, Tua, week 1, what message is sending? Gatorade sends to Tua. Tua responds, time to show them who I am. And then he adds on his story, let's show them Gatorade. I should have known we were cooked. Now, I still threw all my parlays on the Dolphins, stupidly. But I should have known we were cooked. And you want to know something? Maybe I should stop lying to myself. Maybe I should stop sitting here being like, this is going to be something it's not. Because he's telling you, time to show them who I am. And he keeps doing it. And if it wasn't the Houston game, if it wasn't the Green Bay game, if it wasn't the Tennessee game, and I'm talking the Tennessee game like his second year, this is got to be the worst game of his career. Got to be. I mean, what were his final? Let's look at his final numbers for today. Tua finished 14 of 23 for 114 yards. I promise you, like, that is so window dressed to even get it to that. And that's pathetic. With 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, a lost fumble, sacked 3 times, a 51.7 rating, which was in the 30s for most of the game. Really bad. Really, really bad. Really bad. So, and honestly, the thing that was like, I thought that the defense wasn't good today. All right. I don't want to sit here and be like the defense was good. They weren't good. They got no pressure on Daniel Jones. That front seven left a lot to be desired. What did Taylor end up running for today? Taylor finished with 98 total yards, 71 on the ground. But they rushed for 156 as a team. Daniel Jones, 22 of 29, 272 with a touchdown, 2 rushing for Daniel Jones today. He looked like a behemoth. It's beyond depressing, dude. And Stephen Ross did not speak this year at preseason, but a couple more of these, there's no shot Mike McDaniel makes it through the season. And then he did some, and like even just to top it, because the game was over, but like there were even some things that were just mind numbing. One of them being Tyreek Hill. Well, I should mention one more injury thing. Tyreek Hill got hurt. He got a catch where he took one of those weird, awkward, like hip tackles where his head kind of landed weird. Apparently, he was getting checked for a concussion. And then the Dolphins just kept driving. They were trying at 4th and 6. Tua almost got sacked again, so it was pointless. But there was one where Tua like throws it, and I'm trying to figure out when this was. Lost count of it. It doesn't matter when it was. It was basically over, right? The game was over. And Tua finally gets a playoff to Tyreek Hill, and it's a catch. Like it was a catch for sure. And Mike McDaniel was okay, I got it. Sorry. So Tyreek got checked for a concussion, and Tua throws it to Tyreek Hill, and it was a great catch. He caught it, dragged the toe, and like Mike McDaniel just didn't call the challenge for it. Like he had almost like given up. They were down 30-0 at the time. And you're just like, man, really? You're not even gonna try there? So they get it on HN the next play. It didn't matter because they ended up scoring, but it was just like, what is Mike McDaniel doing? Right? Like, do you have any command? Is anybody sitting here helping you? Tua, so they end up getting down. Tyreek, HN had a great run. And then they get all the way down to 3rd and goal, and they got a 12-man in the huddle. So they get knocked back even further. 4th and goal, Devon Achane is able to break through a bunch of tacklers to finally get the Dolphins on the board. Makes it 30-6. Then they would have to call then a timeout before the 2-point conversion, which again, they scored, made it 30-8. But holy crap. I was just like, dude, you had a non-review, a 12-man in the huddle, and have to call timeout before a conversion attempt. And you're just like, what is this coach doing, dude? What is he doing? Like, does he have any organization or inspiration for this team? And that duo, this is their regime. Like, this is it. It's the McDaniel Tua era. And they can't, I'm going to tell you, they can't take, if they do this again in the next 3 games, either, and any of them, I can't see how Stephen Ross keeps this coach around. I can't see it. That was a nightmare. an embarrassment. You guys ruined the start of football season. I don't think I can put it any other way. The Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, and them boys ruined the start of football season. You look forward to it so much. This has been a long, exhausting offseason, and we're just – some people have checked out. And you know what? They're more at peace today. There's plenty of people who get to do the I told you so dance, and they're happier today because at least they had some peace. But the delusional idiots like myself who are like, no, let's try and enjoy the football. You get this thrown in your lap, and you have no one to blame but yourself. I have nobody to blame but myself. And, of course, Tua and Mike McDaniel. I'm going to blame them, too. But don't worry. As Mike McDaniel said, we're just another day closer to death.